Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here after market close on Thursday, February 29th, we're going to take a look at FUBO today. So with earnings coming up, I thought we would come in and check in on FUBO and see if it does boom or bust, some support or resistance levels that might come into play, and of course if it does go relatively sideways, then what is sort of the range that we might see it pin itself to if it does take that kind of an action. Now I didn't call it out on here, but just so I don't forget, there is this gap here that's only partially filled. This day when it dropped down over 22%, left this gap, it partially filled it up to about 230. Wouldn't finish filling it until about 240. So we'll see if that comes into play at all, but I just wanted to mention that before we get too far away. Now the nearest in levels that I have to the upside 224, to the downside 198. So basically if it pins itself somewhere between about 2 and 2.25, that's going to be a decent percentage change, to be honest, but if it doesn't have more of an outsized move than that, that's sort of the near in range that I'm looking at to say, this might be around where it pins itself if it doesn't have a really boom or bust reaction. Now, if it does continue to the upside, we mentioned that gap, but then I have 243, 262, and then 287 on the chart. And if it does turn downward, like I said, 198, 180, and then 155, I think those are all the levels I put in. Oh, I grabbed one more down here, 129, just in case. And that's not to say that it would make any of these moves to these stretch levels in a day, but if something persists over the course of days or weeks, then maybe more of these come into play in that way. Now on the think or swim side of things, we do see recently we had a trigger and fire that brought the price from about, what was it when it was triggering here, about 330 or so, fired, and that's brought it all the way down here to about 175 or so, 176, or maybe even a bit lower than that, but pushed it out of the channel and tried to come back in, had more bearish momentum to exhaust. That's why I brushed off of the wave cloud as opposed to being able to get to the mid-range. Popped out of the channel again, and now this is just its re-entry back into the channel. So it's sort of, in its infant stage of trying to get back into the channel and at least having the gusto this time to make it to the mid-range of the channel. You see how it missed here last time before it pushed down further. So, for whatever that's worth, it was at least able to make it to the mid-range of the channel this time. We'll see if that sort of brings anything forward, but it's real herky-jerky here on the histogram, several hiccup candles seemingly on the dying down side of things right now, but that could obviously get thrown askew really quickly if there is a large reaction to earnings. So we'll see how that continues to take shape, but no new trigger and fire happening yet. It has historically called out moves to both sides pretty well. We see several examples of that here. So we'll see if that, comes into play in the future, but it is just not the case right now. All right, folks, I hope that you've had a nice trading week, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.